let me start off top by saying this is Next Legacy Radio. I am Brandy here with Denia, a.k.a. Danielle, and my guest. I've been waiting a long time to talk to this man, not just being a part of the powerhouse iconic mid condition, but this man has a solo career that we need to basically get his flowers. I was just talking to Danielle about just the diversity of this project, San Kofa, which is out, released September 17th. Danielle and I had a chance to listen to it, and I want to welcome Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, producer, instrumentalist, the iconic Stokley is here with us on Next Legacy Radio. What's up, man?
Hey. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, man. Absolutely. Both of you all. Man, really, really glad to be here. Absolutely.
Man, first off, man, we were talking about this project, San Kofa, which is out. People need to definitely go get it and support it. I'm going to start there, and then we can go a bunch of different ways. But I got to tell you, man, this project, I was just saying to Danielle, it shows off your diverse skills. It just gives a nice vibe to the entire project because Denia and I were saying, with each song top to bottom, you don't know what to expect based on that diversity. And we need that in music, man. I mean, Stoke, I got to give you credit where credit's due, man. Perfect album for the culture that we have here in the music industry today, man. I got to say thank you for that.
I appreciate that. And thank you, man. Absolutely. I just, for me, I just did what I missed and I did what I love. It's the thing that I think, and I'm just trying to, from my sensibilities of the stuff that I like and everything that shaped me, I'm just trying to balance the scales a little bit. I love a lot of the stuff that's out there, so I kind of come in between. I love everything that's happened. So that's why you hear old and new. It's I keep fusing these different things and all these different genres together, but it's all one thing to me. It's just like, I'm a multi-dimensional kind of, my soundscape naturally is like that, so I've been developed like that. So I'm just spreading what it is that I love, like I say, and the stuff that I missed, on everybody. So hopefully everybody's, that's kind of what's being reflected right now when I hear back, from people like yourself saying there's so many different vibes and energy on here. I think it's a reflection of our culture. First of all, it can't be small because this thing is worldwide, and it's just ever since we've been here, we've been doing what we do. It's amazing. So I thank you all for the feedback on it. Yeah, this is just it's a reflection of all of us. That's what San Kofa is about, just really kind of rediscovering, before you can go forward, go back and figure out, whose shoulders you're standing, on, what you're doing, where you came from, what you came from. So this is that.
Amen to that. And Stoke, let me start. Let me ask you this, because listening to it, and again, it gives off that vibe, that energy, in different avenues. And again, like I said, this industry, we need it. We need something that doesn't sound like same old, right? But this gives a much needed shot in the arm, and I keep saying that, and I just, listening to it when it released. And again, this is part of my rotation, obviously on the radio station, obviously, but I mean, it felt so good just to be able to go from top to bottom and just listen and zone out and stuff like that or whatnot. So when you first started putting San Kofa together, was that your intent, or was it more of, let's just continue to just keep putting out the kind of songs that I feel like I need, and then we'll go ahead and pick what's what?
No, I did this on purpose. It was not an accident.
Okay.
Absolutely. It was very intentional, because, like you say, shot in the arm, I think this is the vaccine with no side effects. It's something that's going to elevate us all. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is this soul music, this, I guess, what's the old group that says soul vaccination? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's very intentional. Tower of Power, that's the name of the group. I had to make sure I'm giving them props. Soul vaccination. But, yeah, man, this is intentional. I mean, like I said, I just feel like the scales are a bit unbalanced right now. I feel that the musicality, it's out there, but just for what I do, I want to introduce people to it if they didn't know about it, I love intros. I love vamps. I love bridges. I love not just something that's a drone, like you say, just, the average day, like the sound of the industry, just you get a loop and if you put some vocals over it, rap over it, put some melody, and that's it. And I love a lot of that stuff that's happening as well. But I'm just saying I wanted to, and I have some of that stuff on there as well. But I wanted to, move it somewhere else too. It's like it can't just, be the same old drone wavy thing, which is great, like I said. But so yeah, it was intentional, man, to have a bunch of different, like I say, genres, a bunch of different subject matters, touching on things that are could be skewed as shallow or deep as you want to get. You know what I mean? From, male-female relationships to relationships about, the social landscape or the social construct, whatever you want to call it. And and everything in between. So I got smiles and cries and everything in between, I think a vibe for everybody, that was definitely intentional.
And Stoke, was your features all also premeditated?
Yeah, absolutely. This is my wish list. And, for like Vibrant, I only heard Snoop on there because that was like a West Coast roller skating vibe that I had for a minute. And I'm like, I just was specific. I'm like, I only hear that. And it's funny, I told nobody. And then every time I would play it, it's like, man, you should get on here. You need to get Snoop. I was like, my thinking is right on the money. You know what I mean? Her was on my list, of course. My brother Wale is on my list. Bonfire, that smoky voice that she got, amazing. Shakespeare, I mean, all these people. Kitty from Ghana. I mean, very, very, definitely premeditated. So I think right now you got to have a target. You got to have a goal. Otherwise, dreams just remain dreams. Set those goals each week, each month, whatever, and you try to attain them. Sometimes you don't get 100%, but if it get 90, 95, I like those odds. You know what I mean? So yeah,
and this would make this project.
Yeah.
And this would make this project so special. Stokley is our guest on Next Legacy Radio, and and it's different. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about the days that once was as far as '90s and the evolution of it to how we are now. But I mean, you are targeting a specific, not specific, but again, it's that spread the love kind of energy that goes every which way that I feel like a lot of people can capture it. And listening to it, Stoke, it's literally made for, the younger generation mixed in with the people, the traditionalists. I don't want to say old school or anything like that,
right,
but it captured that kind of moment or vibe. And, my respect to the project. And, when we look at just, how things are as opposed to how it used to be, where it's just like, let's just go ahead and make 100 songs, pick the best 13 or 12 or whatever, and then let's just go with it. Now it's different, and it feels different because you are literally saying that, look, I'm going to pick this song for this reason. It's got to be on this project, and then as we go through it. And I love that approach now because we have to keep moving with the music, right?
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. And it's like I say, it's intentional, but it's organic as well. So I did a bunch of, of course, a bunch of songs, and you pick out, you do, so, okay, this fits with this fits with this. And there's a lot more that fit with this project, because it started out, it was just going to be 10 songs. And I was like, I'm at 12. And then by the time the interludes, it's like, I need to thread that rope, so really ties it together, that kind of thing. So I kept, that's why I call myself, it's, it's a great sonic painting, as I call it. And, just so you got to have these threads that so people can follow it. So there's a motif that runs through it, which is like the heartbeat, the percussion aspect, the Africanisms that are tied all with it. You know what I mean? From the title to the instrumentation, the arrangements and all that stuff. It's just got a vibe to it, and all the all these things that you mentioned. It's intentional, but it's definitely organic. It's a place where it's how I was built. I'm just putting all of me. This is what I call my. My sonic story, in a nutshell, kind of. There's more to it in many facets, but at least you got to start somewhere. So this is what that feels like. This is what that looks like,
Man, and inspire. I'll continue to keep spreading the love. The iconic Stokley is our guest on Next Legacy Radio. Tonight, go ahead, throw your question there.
Yeah.
Definitely. Tell the listeners about the story behind the song Recipe.
Basically, it's about, cultural appropriation. It's a song about cultural identity theft. I think we can kind of hear that.
Yes,
right.
come through.
Right.
So that, as we see, we go through that, and it's nothing new. We've seen it with Elvis. We see it with, black folks who, put out music of this, couldn't have our face on there, but yet, you have, our European brothers and sisters, do the same thing. And it's a little bit different. The shine is a little bit different. They control the industries and the distribution and all these different things. However, I'm just simply saying that it's like, you love what it is that we create, but you hate the blood. You hate who is creating. You know what I mean? You love what it is, the product, everything that comes with it, the speech, the swagger, everything. I mean, we can go down the list, but you all know what that is. So that's basically what that is. And just to say it matter of factly, it's not. I'm just saying it's no hate on it. I am the narrator of the situation.
Exactly. I mean,
so yeah.
And I'm so thankful that you did that, because a lot of people are kind of nervous to say something, but it's true. The same way Lulu said, black folks need rock and roll. Let's be clear. Let's start telling the truth about the situation.
Absolutely. Price, and one of the greatest operatic singers ever. And she'll tell you, like, look, but that opera, I love it. It's not my music. It's Italian. You know what I mean? I love Italian. Yep. I love food. I love the language. She respects it. That's all we're saying. As a matter of fact. So we should be able to say that with no, people don't think we have any malice about it, nothing like that. It's just like, this is what it is. These are the facts, and it's truth, and there's nothing wrong with that, So, I'm fine with that. So, so talking about it, there's nothing wrong with it. Here's what it is. I'm laying it out for you just in case somebody forgot.
Right. Right, just in case you forgot who started it all. And in case you forgot where hip-hop came from.
I wrapped it up in a little bit of rock and roll for you at that. So
yes, I know that was fire. That's the one thing I was gonna say. Like, that was really fire, because I was like, wait, what? Okay, it starts with the rock piece, and it goes. I was like, ooh, so you keep going all the way there. I love it. So yes.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
Stokley, the iconic Stokley, is our guest on Next Legacy Radio, and when San Kofa dropped September 17th, obviously it's a partnership with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Just talk about that partnership for this project, for this moment in time in 2021.
Full circle. Of course, Mint Condition was signed to Perspective Records, like 89 or something like that. Yeah, like 1989. And came out with our first record in 91. So 35-year. This is just amazing. Friendship. Mentorship. It's just coming full circle with now me doing this thing solo, and having Blue Raft, my label, with my partner and manager. Along with Flight Time Perspective Records, it's just sweet, man. It's sweet to have this, all the time that we've, everything that we've created to get all the music and their platform that they've given Mint Condition in the beginning, and now the platform they're giving me, years later. Now it's just so sweet. We couldn't have planned this out any better. You know what I mean? So I'm just walking, as I say, in this light. God has presented these things, and I just do. Just keep expanding upon the gifts that were given to me, and the opportunities will come, and the people will come into your life as they're supposed to. And here they are again, full circle. Boom! This is an amazing thing. And two, what's interesting is like they're having their run 35 years later because they've been distracted by so much of so much success with SOS and Janet and Michael, and the list goes on. So it's kind of a trip. Now they're doing their thing as an artist because they've been producers, and they set out to be their own artists years ago. But then somebody's like, I like that song. I like that one. What's that? Control? What's that song called?
Right.
Wow. What have you done for me? I like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it derailed the whole thing, and but it's a beautiful derailment. And here we are, 30-something odd years later, both doing our things, solo and, as an artist. So it's really sweet at this point. Yeah.
So does it feel like 30 years, though? Because, I mean, when people start talking about the 90s, I still feel like that was, like, last decade, though.
I know, man. 30 plus, 34, 35, dude. No, it does not. I mean, it's like, because when I think about it, it's like, wow, that was in the 1900s. I'm like, wow.
Right.
It's crazy. But for real, I mean, it's funny, but I'm like, wow, these are facts, man. So it does not feel like that. The older you get, time marches much quicker. So, yeah, man, just because, you know more, and it's like, oh, okay, all these things and connections that you're making from yesteryear. It's like, oh, okay, this is what this meant. People always said this to me. I never knew what it meant. So now here we are, older, wiser, and trying to implement all the things that we've been told, early on in our life, and now because we're faced with it. So we get it in a different way.
Hey,
So
hey, listen, so when you said 1900s, man, I had to reflect for a hot minute because obviously, when you say 1900s, I'm like, Lord, that's like, how many decades ago was that? It feels like longer than 30 years, man, or 3 decades, whatever you want to call it. But
I know.
But it's real. You mentioned not just Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, but full circle, right? So as an artist, and before Denai asked the question as well, like I want to say, being a fan, not just your mint condition legacy, but just being a fan of just authenticity when it comes to just soulful music and stuff like that. You are definitely, high in my list. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to just moments, points in time in life where you can close your eyes and zone out and listen to music and capture that feeling. Do you still feel like that is, like-minded with individuals like us, that we can still zone out, close our eyes? It doesn't have to be visual all the time. We can just zone out to good music. I still believe in that, still to this day.
Absolutely. And especially people like us who grew up that way. We've been conditioned that way to actually, I call it, when you're listening, it seems like right now people do what I seem to be more passive listening rather than engaged listening. Like we meant to go listen to, you had the big record player. You go sit down, you put them headphones on, you just sit in front of speakers and you look at the damn album cover, you look at the credits, you look at the pictures. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, and you imagine this band or this artist in concert and you closing your eyes and you're having an experience. It's supposed to uplift you. It's like, wow, it takes you there. Now our lives are so busy. We've got earbuds and everything is wireless. And so we're listening to music on our way doing something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's there in the music, but it's kind of in the background. So that's why I say passive. And it still uplifts and gives you some energy and whatnot, but not in the same way as if you really are engaged fully. Your senses are engaged. It's like, man, you're really immersed in it. So, unless you come from that, you don't know it, unless you've done it. Like I look at my kids, they're like, wow, they have, if they're on the way doing something or they're eating or they're in the car, you know what I mean? And the car is a great place to consume music too, definitely, but it's just different. But there's nothing that is like having that real experience, sitting down. That's why people still love going to concerts, but then they have phones and iPads up looking at it. It's like, enjoy the experience, man. It's like you're missing. How you going to look at the camera at something real? Right. You're looking at something virtual, so you're already there. So it's crazy.
Exactly.
But to answer your question, it's definitely that's a great thing to do, and I think folks like us that have that experience can tap back into it, because that's the ultimate.
Come on, man. It's full circle, like you said. We need that at the end of the day. Stokley is our guest on Next Legacy Radio. Naya, go ahead.
Absolutely. So what would you say is on your playlist these days? What music do you have to hear? Like when you wake up, when you go to sleep, when you're working out?
Besides San Kofa.
What's that?
Of course, besides San Kofa.
Besides San Kofa. Besides San Kofa. You got to remember, it's like, I'm on to the 4th album now. I've been through COVID.
Right.
4 albums now, right? So, I mean, it's like, even though I have, I think when it came out, it was the first time I actually heard everything kind of together again. And Lost was one that I was playing a bit. And it hit different after I heard everything down. I usually do like my usual, drive like an hour somewhere. I don't know where I'm driving. I just drive and just listen to everything down. Like, okay, then I'm good. And continue on to the, I don't look back kind of thing. So, it's I have a few artists that I definitely been digging. I love Masego, love Lucky Day,
Okay.
Tiana Major 9, and of course, the Erykah Badu and all of my usuals, Jill Scott, and all kind of folks, man. I was listening to some new Don Toliver this morning. So I'm just all over the place as well. It depends on if I'm in a current musical landscape mood or if I want old soul, like the Stylistics or something like that. So my palette is very broad. You know what I mean? And it could be any genre, or it could be, a certain period. It could be the 50s or 60s, some early, Miles Davis in his cool phase, So my stuff is really, really varied. But if I'm on this wavy thing, or I might like pull on a Her track or something like that, like Rush.
There you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, man, you telling the truth with the classic though, because sometimes luckily, and we're fortunate enough to be in a culture-driven society where we do have it at our fingertips. Again, if you feel like Miles Davis, throw that in. Sam Cooke, whatever, you know what I mean? Mint Condition classics, Stokley, it's all there. So let me ask you this question before I ask you another one. Is we have it at our fingertips. At one point in time, we had to go to Tower Records to go buy tapes, CDs, obviously, 8 tracks if you want to go backwards even more. Now it's different. Now we have that. Do you feel, and I feel like this as a media guy, that sometimes we don't give you and other artists credit as we should just for that reason? Because even though we do have it at our fingertips, we still should have moments and points and times in our lives where we should just be like, you know what, let me seek you out to say thank you, or let me not just go buy your stuff, but attend your concert, buy your merchandise, whatever it is, right? We need to do that more as consumers and media folks in order for us to just, continue this cycle, because we do have enough of it, right? It's always out there. How do you feel?
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the way that you thank an artist. It's not just by cool emojis or heart emojis or thumbs up, but that's great. We appreciate it,
right?
But actually, but that is virtual. It's not reality. The thing is to go buy a ticket to a show, and by that way, you just might get something. You might just be inspired. You know what I mean? You might be inspired. Mm-hmm. You might get, because it's like everybody is in different spaces and places in their life. So that's what we're, the way we thank you back is, we do a show for you. We spend hours and hours and months putting together music and arrangements and, however it is we want to look, this presentation for everybody to have some kind of escape and some realism too, because it's a real thing.
Right.
And we're building for you. It's a way that the crowd and the listener thanks the artist, is to come to an event, buy a ticket to a show, buy their product, and support like that. You know what I mean? It's for sure. And in this age of streaming, it's so easy to just the press of a button with everything. Every industry, it's just like it's got to be where it's too convenient. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that distorts the whole experience sometimes, I think. So, I agree with that. I mean, that's, for the listener to come and thank you. So they come to the show, buy a ticket, or, get your project. That's the way it works. It's always worked like that. It's like, they appreciate it. And then, by the way, the byproduct is you feel good afterwards. That's what music's supposed to do. So,
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
And it's a loyalty test, Stoke. It's a loyalty test for, us as fans. We say we fans, but are we really fans? Let's go buy that product. Go support that.
Right.
Go get that ticket. Go to the concert. Go support that man or that woman because we appreciate all he or she has done, and that's super important. Loyalty, I mean, what's the thing Fat Joe was saying now? Like, today's loyalty is not yesterday's loyalty is not today's loyalty. I mean, I know he threw prices out there, but it's different. But it's the truth. I mean, things change like the wind every single day, but consistency, I always believe, will reign supreme at the end of the day. And that's why I need everybody to go get San Kofa, not only because Denier and I are not just saying it because it's great. We want to tell you about the album. We want to take the time, Stoke, to just listen to it and be like, look, man, for better or for worse, it's great. You know what I mean? Or, it was a couple tracks that I liked or didn't. But San Kofa, I promise you people out there that's listening, top to bottom, you are going to get a different vibe every single track. And I think that's needed in this business today. So go get San Kofa. Naya, go ahead, ask the question.
So do you think with the pandemic that it's hurt or helped the music industry in terms of artists? Not the actual, not like the labels, whatever, going crazy, but in terms of artists. What do you think that it did? Do you think it elevated them to work harder, or do you think it kind of just like I know some people kind of just really fell back because they've been touring for 20 years and they're like, oh, I get to relax. So, in your opinion, what do you think about it?
I honestly, I really think both things are true. You know what I mean? One is such a horrible thing that happened. People are dying still. Right. People still hurt, and they will never will recover. Businesses will never recover, never to return. So their livelihood is jacked up right now. At the same time, it made people to buckle down in a way that we've never seen before. It made people reflect in a way that we've never seen. It's like, whoa, who am I? What am I? This thing could be over. It's just, how fragile human life is. I mean, we got to some really basic things here. So, absolutely. And then from that, the technology that is available to us again, there's technology that one button, you push it, So, when you're pressed and pushed up against the wall, you make things happen. You know what I mean? Yes. This is what happens. It's like we are resilient, we're creative. There's a lot of ingenuity. So I mean, we all use our imaginations, and here we are. Got something like Versus would not have happened without.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Right.
We made something. And on we go with everything, man. It's you can talk to any artist. Yeah, of course, the thing that did suffer, of course, was the touring. Because, it's so unnatural. That's the opposite of what we try to do. It's like, instead of by yourself, locked in the four walls, it's like the opposite of that is to be with everybody inside of four walls or, walls outside, spread the music to as many people as possible. You know what I mean? Which is the opposite of what you want for the virus, So yeah, both things I think have been true, and it made us kind of buckle down. And some things aren't going away, and I think they shouldn't, because it made some of us learn how to do what we do in a different way, and that way is always through technology. It's like technology is the thing that moves any industry forward. Whether it be newspapers or, some newspapers, and that's a whole different vibe now. You have to be on.
Yep.
It's throwing paper at people's houses. It's still happening, but, it's just a different day. So the answer would be, both and for sure, because I've heard, my own experiences and other artists as well, we lost in the, I'd love to get back out and tour, but in this way, man, I discovered this about myself and blah, blah, blah. It just, so we lost, but we won,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Shout out to everybody who lost family members and loved ones. Anybody who loved, that's really a hard thing to stomach, and it's a hard thing to kind of get over. But, hopefully through things like this, music and entertainment, not just for the sake of entertaining, but for the sake of uplifting, for the sake of soothing, for the sense of healing. That's the word I was getting to. Absolutely. So, yeah.
And Stoke, isn't it important for us to just not just, because obviously, the pandemic 2020 was crazy. We lost a lot of people, obviously, and before the shutdown hit, we lost Kobe. We lost so many different people. And in life, not just in the entertainment business, but, you know, people's families, friends, coworkers, whatever the case may be. It's a reflection to stop and look and see and be a part of the healing process, but also to help each other. And I always feel like, you know, music is a direct bridge to that moment where we can all come together, not just at a concert, but buying music, having people talk about it. I mean, that camaraderie and that rapport built based off music, it's still there. You know, not just San Kofa, but just it's there. But we all have to, again, goes back to what I was saying earlier, pay attention to what's really important and hear people talk. You know what I'm saying? Not just see it, you got to hear it and feel it at the end of the day.
That's what it's about, man. Just we love, you know, the tactile experience. You know, that's one of the reasons I actually wanted to have CDs. People feel like it's real. You know, the virtual thing is great.
Right.
Like, where's the cloud? Where is it? Nobody really knows. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's this place with this server, and you know anything can happen. It's like it's safe, yes, safe, but it's not really. No one can really guarantee you that. So I mean, to have a CD that is yours, something I was like, I got to do some real something that people can see, they can read, they can smell the plastic, they can, you know what I mean? Smell the paper, and I'm actually going to do a limited of vinyl as well at some point.
Classic.
Full experience. So I want to have stream it, CD it, wax it.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
Couple more quick questions with the iconic Stokley on Next Legacy Radio. And Stoke, you know, I did not have one last one, but I'm going to ask you one last one myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you came from that cloth, you know what I'm saying? We were talking about it earlier, you know what I'm saying, decades on end as far as memory. So I'm going to ask you a random question when it comes to fashion. If you had to go back and grab one thing from the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, what would it be?
That's funny. That's funny. Wow. From the 80s, man, that's a good question though. From the late 80s, I would grab this jean jacket. It's kind of on the cusp of late 90s. No, but check it out. This jean jacket I had, it was my first tour. And it was right before Mint and Everything we got signed, right?
Right.
But it was this tour, my first tour in Europe. I was playing opening for this guy named George Pettis, playing drums, singing background, and we're opening for Whitney Houston. So that's when I first met Whitney on that tour, and a bunch of people that are now doing amazing things in the world. And so every country I went to in Europe, I would get a patch, and I'd sew it on. And it was like, I don't know how many, just 45, 50 different places. And I would guard that thing with my life because my sister, she didn't steal it, she lost it. So that's one thing I think about. I'm like, oh, man. But she told me she couldn't find it. She had it. I'm like, but I finally found out that she actually lost it. So I'm like, what? Yeah, so that was really special. I get that. But I know you're talking about fashion, but that I did have it. But it had a little swag on it. Because it did have a little swag. That's why I bring it up. It had a little thing, you know.
Hey, so, but by you sewing the patches on, I mean, jean jackets was just as relevant in the 80s like parachute pants used to be in the 80s as well. So, I mean, you know, but the fact that you had your own custom patches, jacket, jean jacket, come on, man. If you can dial that back and get that, man, that'll be considered a classic, right? I would rock it today. I'm telling you, it'd be like, oh, where'd you get this jacket? Oh, that's the coolest package. But the patches actually meant I actually been to each one of those places. As I was like just 20. I just turned 20. Like just went behind. Yeah. So I mean, it had a little swag to it for sure. So that's one huge thing. 90s, I don't know. It's so much stuff, man. I was doing so much. I love fashion. You know, moving so quick. There might have been a couple hats that I had that I wish I wouldn't have thrown away. It's like, man. Okay.
Because they come back now. You know what I mean? It's like they see it. You know, what's old is new again. So, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Were you a fan of cross colors?
Oh yeah, we had the cross. Oh yeah. All of that. The cross colors. You know, the Carlton jeans. You know, all of that.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what from the 2000s. I don't even know what I don't know.
Hey, Stokes, that's when things got a little confusing, right? Early 2000s, like.
Oh man, yeah, it got a little tilt on it.
A little confusing. Just a tad.
Like, huh? You know how dogs look at you that kind of way to turn their head, like, huh? I'm like, oh.
Whoa.
Right.
Whoa.
What are y'all doing?
I love it.
What it is.
I love it. Diane, go ahead with your last question there.
Definitely. So you have some amazing collaborations on here, but who would you say would be your dream collaboration, living or dead, and why?
Ooh, dream collaboration. A dream collaboration would probably be, oh man, this is really, I can't just pick one. You know, I'm just going to rattle out a couple names.
Multiple, yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yes, one would definitely be Bob Marley.
Hey, okay.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, and if I can get him in you sit him down, Sly Stone. Sly Stone, you know. And
right.
He's like, yeah, sit down, man. Don't leave the room. You know, because he's been known to like go to a concert and be like, I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? So, like for real. For one of the biggest collaborations that didn't happen, was supposed to be on my first album, would be Prince. Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay.
I would say, man, there's so many. Al Green. You see, there's a lot of folks that, you know, really put the stamp on me. So these folks are like elders. You know, mine folks are older than me that would, you know, really, I would just like to see, because I know what I could do as far as, you know, bringing it to the forefront of like what's happening right now, kind of thing. So I mean, just that mix or blend, or even if it did have a traditional vibe, doesn't matter. Your music is music as long as it fits, you know, feels good. It doesn't even matter.
Right.
I don't know a few of those. Masego's one that's on my list. Definitely, I'll tap him at some point. Definitely love what he does, and Lucky Day as far as some younger artists. Yeah, there's a few people out there, and of course there's some folks I've been discovering over on the continent as well. Some Ghanaian artists, some Nigerian artists. So yeah, I mean,
love it.
Yeah, those are.
I love how you stretch that out to, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of people who, you know, not just alive and not, but, you know, obviously, you know, unless I missed it somewhere, I would love to have a future collaboration like on an S&S level with Stevie and Stokely. I feel like that would be a nice little look too, though. So it's just throwing that out
when I
there.
forgot, yeah, absolutely, man. That would be. And we've talked about it a couple times. It's like it just never happened. So I mean, that's definitely something I can put back on my radar, like serious radar. You know.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, in closing, Stoke, and I need people out to go get San Kofa. It's available on all platforms right now. Stokley's our guest on Next Legacy Radio, and not just thank you for the time, man, but thank you for the years of music that you have continued to give us as fans and media folks. A lot of memories attached to it, not just your Mint Condition legacy, but also your solo project legacy, and continue to push this line. I would always say this to a lot of greats, and I'm including you in this, obviously. You've won multiple championships in your lifetime when it comes to music, but you still continue to push the envelope and give us more. So we have to thank you for that, man, and do whatever we can, you know, on the level of not just buying your albums and seeing you at concerts, but also giving you that credit where credit's due. I mean, we're going to obviously on our radio station give you your flowers as a solo artist, also in remembering Mint Condition. But, man, thank you for all you do, bruh. Thank you for being you and still continue to give us that gift.
Thank you all for the interest, you know, after all this time and everything, for following and, you know, just being a friend of the music. Really just hopefully it's done something for you in your lifetime, your loved ones, your friends, and, you know, continue to spread the word. if you want to find me, if you don't know, Stokley Official, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or iStokley.com. That's istokley.com. I'm going to have merchandise pretty soon. Actually, if you get, you can get some CDs on there as well. And you can look on there and look out. I got the credits of who. Nice. Everybody's like, where have you guys, like, who did what? You know, so I have that stuff on the website as well, because a lot of times you don't see any more credits of who's doing what. And I like, it's a team of people. It's not just me. It takes a village to do that, and I got a team, a great team together. And just want to give them their props and everything, everybody who I worked with. So I thank you all. I thank all the fans and all the people who don't know about me who are coming, showing love. So, yeah, we just getting started, man. Coming to a city.
And absolutely.
So just like fine wine, Stokley, I mean, you don't age, bro. What are you talking about? Your music. You don't age. What are you talking about, man? You good. You good. We always going to be checking for you, man. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Denai, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Keeps getting better, and I love that last piece. Talk about hashtags. Credits matter. Thank you.
Credits matter.
Because people don't understand. Like, if you're working on a project, especially if there isn't, whether it's payment or not, you still want to have the credit so that people can know that you worked on it. You can be like, I did this all day long, but if there's nothing that shows that you worked on that project, you can't utilize that for other projects. Come on now.
Yeah, right. Gift that keeps giving. You know what I mean? People want to know.
Absolutely.
Look, who did they use? And it's like how you find out who did what. You know what I mean? So it's all, and the thing is, we're only as strong as each other. So it's like you want to keep the industry strong. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if this person is working your friend, it's like, oh, yeah, you should just keep circulating that energy, man. It ain't nothing going to get lost. People think that, I got to hoard everything. No, you give it away.
No.
It makes you stronger. So that's
right.
Yeah.
People help people.
Absolutely.
Businesses help businesses. We all are supposed to help each other. That's what it's built for. And, again, I can't thank you enough, man, for the years, for the continued music that you're putting out. And like I said, man, when it's time to check out your website and see where you're going to perform at, man, I know I need to be there and show that support as well. So, we're going to be checking for you, no doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely, good. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
No.